I'm joined by Damon Wilson, the Nomad. Big fight coming up, Cage Warriors 155, June 2nd in beautiful San Diego. Of course, you can watch it on UFC Fight Pass. Damon, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. Yeah, had a little workout this morning, and I got some chores to do here in a little bit, so I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah, this is a good part of my day, though. Get to talk a little fighting with you.
Right. I'm glad to hear that, man. A week out from the fight. So how has the preparation been coming into this one?
Preparation's beautiful, man. Yeah, I've enjoyed camp. I enjoyed training, so it's been nice. The toughest part is probably just being away from home, being away from my family and whatnot. But got a good group of guys out here that keep me sane. And yeah, just been putting the work in, man. Just it's a grind. It's a steady grind. So I'm enjoying it.
How far away is home for you?
Oh man. So I'm from the Midwest. I'm from Southern Illinois. I think I actually drove out here this time.
Mm.
My last fight, my truck got stolen, so I had to go home and I got a new vehicle. I drove out here. I think it was 1,800 miles. It was about a 27-hour drive. Um, yeah, it wasn't super enjoyable, but
Yeah.
put on the podcast and just roll with it. So yeah, we made it out here.
Nice. And of course, you're down at Alliance now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Best team in the business.
Yeah. Um, John DeJesus, experienced guy, fought in Bellator not that long ago. What are your thoughts on him as the opponent this time out?
Just like you said, man, John's highly experienced. I respect him in that department because he's been around for a long time and he's fought a lot of high top level guys. He's fought guys that have had good success in the UFC. He's fought guys in Bellator. Um, he's got some credible wins under his belt. He's one of these guys that he doesn't really turn down fights. I've my last few camps, I've had some difficulty getting fights, getting guys to accept fights, and when they threw me his name, I knew it was on. Before the contracts even came, I knew it was on just because he's not a guy that turns down fights. So I respect that about him, no doubt. When those cage doors close, though, there's that respect goes out the window. So he's just another soul in there, trying to take what I want.
Yeah. Obviously, we talk about the experience. He's had 26 pro fights. You've had seven. You don't seem like a man that would be phased by something like that, but that's not for someone early in their career. You don't see a difference like that too often. So, is that something you would think about at all coming into this fight? And like, I mean, how would you counteract something like that?
No, man. Obviously, I think it helps him for sure. I don't think it hurts me in any way. He definitely he's been around. He's going to be comfortable in there. He's one of these guys that he's game. He's always game to fight. You can see it when he's in there. He's having fun. He's doing his thing. Um, for me, man, I've been in combat sports since I was a kid. I stepped on a wrestling mat at 4 years old, so combat's in my blood. And one-on-one sports is always been a part of my life. So it's one of those things where I feel like I have the experience, and on top of that, I'm out here training at Alliance for the past 3 or 4 years full time, with the likes of Dominic Cruz and Jeremy Stevens, guys that have the most experience in the MMA game. So I feel like my experience is there. I also think that each fight I've had, everyone I've fought has had more fights than me and more experience than me, and that's always the question is, oh, are they too experienced? Um, I think I'm comfortable in there. I'm a pretty calm body in there, so there's nothing in my eyes. We're going in there 0-0. I'm 0-0. He's 0-0, and that's the way I look at it each fight. Try not to focus too much on the numbers.
Yeah. Obviously, you mentioned him there, so I need to bring it up. Dominic Cruz. He's so analytical with the way he breaks down fights. So, what are some of the things you've been able to kind of pick at his brain and take from him that you can add to your game, especially with him being someone so close to your weight class as well?
Yeah, for sure. I just keep my ears open. Just try to take in everything that he's doing. I think honestly, for me, when it comes to a guy like Dom, everybody knows the analytical side of him. He's a real sharp mind. But for me, it's more his mentality towards the game. I mean, he's as game as it comes when it comes to competition. So I think just the mentality and the mindset of the mindset that you go into practice with, the mindset that you go into competitions with. I was able to corner him in one of his fights, so I was able to kind of see how he goes about doing things, and I think that's probably what I've learned the most from him, is just that mentality.
It's really an elite mentality with him because he's a guy who had so many setbacks, right? And he's still there doing the damn thing.
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, you can't hold that guy back. You know, he's a fighter through and through, and I think that's why he's so well respected in the sport.
Yeah, 100%. Without obviously giving too much away in terms of what you're planning on Friday night, what do you plan on bringing to this fight? Maybe for someone who hasn't seen you before, how do you describe yourself in there?
Man, there's no secret to my game. My game plan stays pretty much the same throughout. I come in throwing heat. I'm trying to take guys out. I was able to show a little bit of my wrestling my last couple fights. I had to remind the people that I come from a wrestling background, and I like to mix it up. You know, it's mixed martial arts for a reason. So there's honestly not a lot to hide when it comes to fighting me. I'm to be honest with you, I'm a lot of meat and potatoes. Like I like the fundamentals, and I'm gonna come forward. I'm gonna bite down on my mouthpiece and get in a fist fight. And some guys aren't ready for that kind of pressure. I think my opponent knows what I'm bringing. He knows that I'm bringing pressure. He knows that it's gonna be a fight, and he's gonna have to dig deep. And I'm expecting the same thing. I know he's gonna bring his best self, and I'm gonna have to dig deep. We're gonna be locked in there for 15 minutes, and that is what it is. So game plan is violence.
You mentioned you're going to be locked in there for 15 minutes. We did see two very quick knockouts for you at the start of your Cage Warriors run. Super impressive in Cage Warriors thus far. And you've really made yourself a staple of these San Diego shows. I think, have you been on every single one so far?
You know what? I actually missed one
Ah,
in the summer last year. I missed one card. I
ah.
was pretty upset about it. I was actually getting married, so I had my wedding the
It's a
same
good
day.
excuse. It's a good excuse.
Yeah, it was a fine excuse, yeah, but I made up for it, and I got on one of them cards in London. So yeah, I've made the most of being on these San Diego cards. You know, the San Diego people want to see me, so I feel like I kind of owe it to them to show up and be ready to scrap.
Yeah, you mentioned London, and I want to touch on that in a minute because I'm in London right now. I'm from the UK.
Nice,
So
nice.
for someone like myself, like many fans around Europe who know what Cage Warriors is like here, how would you describe the kind of environment, the vibe at these shows in San Diego?
Um, Man, it's a good environment. I mean, we were at Saquon Casino last fight, and that's where we're at this go around. So I enjoyed that venue. It was pretty intimate, you know, it's pretty close quarters. The ones that we had at the Bay were always really nice because you had the cool background at the Bay. Um, but yeah, I mean, the San Diego crowd gets pretty wild. You know, they get pretty wild. You know, the booze will be flowing, and people will be getting excited. I think they got a full card this go around. You know, last card we had quite a bit of fights drop out. We ended up only having 5 fights on the card, so
Yeah.
I feel like the atmosphere wasn't as rowdy or as riled up as it could have been. I think it's going to be a little different this go around now that it's their second time at Saquon. I think you got 12 fights on the card. You got several good pro debuts. You got some of the MMA Academy guys coming in, and so I think there's a lot of hype around this specific card. Um, but yeah, I mean the atmosphere is going to be pretty wild. I'm going to enjoy it.
But then, like you mentioned, you had the opportunity. It's been a unique opportunity so far for the US guys. Not many guys had the chance to come over. You had the chance to come over and fight in London. So how did you find that experience?
Oh, it's wonderful, man. I'm trying to enjoy this journey, enjoy the process, all of it, the ups and downs. You know, I went over there and ended up getting knocked on my ass, and that sucks, man. It's a one of the worst feelings in the world is losing a fist fight, but then again, one of the best feelings of the world is winning a fist fight. So you got to give and take, and just enjoy each moment and all the emotions that come with it. But yeah, I mean, going over to London was a great experience. You know, I had I had my wife there, I had a couple buddies, my brother, we all got to go out on the town and whatnot. And I'll be honest with you, London was struggling with the food scene. I didn't get the best food over there, but I don't know if I was at the right places, man. So
I mean, we hear
and
that
then
a
we
lot. We hear that a lot, to be fair.
I know. I'm just busting your balls though, man. I was busting a lot of their balls over there about the weather and whatnot, but I know you guys hear it. I'm sure you get tired of it. But no, man, I enjoyed it, and everybody's friendly over there. I think I got quite a bit of fans in the UK, which is really cool to see. I mean, I'm to be honest with you, like I'm as American as it gets. Like I'm a Midwestern country boy, and I always say that I don't just bleed red, I bleed white and blue too. But man, I respect all people, and I enjoy different cultures and learning about the people over in London and in England in general. I got a couple teammates that are from out that way as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, man.
Brendan, right?
Do what?
Brendan Loughnane, right? He's done it
Oh
live.
yeah, well, Locknane, yes. I haven't trained with Locknane in a while, but yeah, I trained with him a couple years back. But we've got a couple brothers, a set of brothers that moved out here recently that are from. I can't remember which city they're from. I think they're close to Manchester or something. But yeah, some real good lads, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah. On that, just on that fight quickly. It didn't go your way, but when you put yourself and Tobias Harila in a cage, something crazy is gonna happen, right?
Hey, that was what we said going in. It was going to be the people's main event. It was, man. I wish I could have lasted a little longer in there, getting in my groove, and we were really starting to get dug in. Man, I that's one that I'm gonna get back. We're both early in our careers, and I see me and him stepping in there again. I got a ways to go. I know he's got some big fights coming up for him. So, I wish him the best of luck. I hope he keeps winning. I hope I keep winning, and one of these days we step inside an even bigger arena in front of a bigger crowd and put on even a bigger show.
I think it will be a bigger show because the reason I bring him up is like in the last couple of days, there's been different reports that he's going to be on the Contender Series this year. So, you know,
Hmm.
Damon Wilson,
Yeah, you're
Tobias
right.
Harila 2 in the UFC sounds pretty good.
That's what I'm thinking, brother. That's what I'm thinking. We got a
Yeah.
ways to go, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah, and obviously standing in that cage, seeing that walkout, that's got what's that feeling like?
Yeah, man, it was an interesting one for sure. Yeah, I mean, you're in the zone. I'm standing in the cage and I'm getting in the zone, and it was fun though. It was fun to see that walk out and see how the crowd reacted and stuff. I thought that the crowd would be a little more hostile towards me, but to be honest with you, they were pretty tame as far as that goes. I think they were just interested to see a scrap. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it was a real good time.
Yeah, of course. Just finally, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but with yourself, John, when you meet next Friday night, a week from tonight, Cage Warriors Cage in those famous yellow gloves, what can fans expect? Just give us a little taste.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I mean, it's gonna be violent. I'm as far as a prediction goes, man. I'm just bringing heat. I'm bringing chaos. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get him out of there. That's for damn sure. And I think if I do that, if I go in there, I take it punch by punch, kick by kick, and I try to get him out of there. I think at the end of the day, I'm gonna get my hand raised. If he makes it, to the final bell, all respect to him. But I think there's gonna be a lot of damage done, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to putting my body on the line, trading my health for taking his. So I'm looking to take souls in there, no doubt.
Yeah, heat, violence, and damage, certainly things you're known for, my friend. Thanks for taking the time tonight here in the UK, obviously this afternoon, your time. Feel free just before you finish, throw out any sponsors and any shout outs you want to give.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you. Let me do that. Yeah, I got some good sponsors for this fight. Always Huff Construction represents me. Copper Electric, Tino's on the T, McGregor Murtaugh. Um, Man, I just got a new one, Heritage Real Estate here in San Diego. Heritage Real Estate, real good company. And then some guys that have been with me a while, Originals, Fight Rope. I am stronger. Yeah, I mean, a lot of good sponsors, man. I could not do it without them. And obviously, all my fans that support me, man. I always feel the love out here in San Diego. I feel the love in the UK, even. So, yeah, I appreciate all of it. And I appreciate you, Steve, for coming on here and doing this. I know you're a busy man. So, thank you very much.
Yeah. I mean, again, appreciate you taking the time. And let's do this again after the win, yeah? I'd love to speak to you again, man. Once again.
I would definitely do it again. Of course, of course. Love to.
Cool. Thanks for taking the time. Best of luck next Friday. Can't wait to watch.
Cheers, mate.